Hello friends, thank you for watching this video. I am Mohamad and today we're going to be discussing how we can actually start utilizing AutoMapper inside our .NET application. We're going to be going through the setup process and how we can actually utilize it inside our controllers or anywhere we need to. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to be creating a new .NET Web API. So I'm going to put new Web API dash controllers dash name. I'm going to call it auto.api. Okay, perfect. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to open this in Rider. So now that my application has opened in Rider, all I need to do is I'm going to install some packages. So I'm going to open my terminal and I'm going to add the following. .NET add package AutoMapper. Okay, perfect. And the second one is going to be, let's clear this up and let's make this a bit higher as well. Okay, .NET add package AutoMapper dot extensions dot Microsoft dot dependency injection. Okay, perfect. So now that has been installed successfully, all I'm going to do is just verify the installation by going to edit and edit CS proj. If we go down, we can see I have AutoMapper available and I have my dependency injection available. Okay, perfect. So the next step that what I need to do is I need to actually configure my program.cs to actually utilize AutoMapper. And this is going to be fairly straightforward. So all I'm going to be doing here is builder.services.add AutoMapper, and all I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be basically telling AutoMapper which DLL file that it needs to scan in order for it to find the mappings that it needs to do in order for it to work. And the reasoning I'm doing this is right now my application is formed of one single DLL. But what happens if my application has multiple class libraries? What we need to do is we need to allow my AutoMapper in order for it to scan those DLLs in order for it to find the mapping that it needs to. And that's what we're doing here. So here all I'm going to be doing is app domain.current domain .get assemblies, and basically the get assemblies here will allow us to scan all of the DLLs and load them in order for AutoMapper to figure them out and find all of the mappings that we need to. Okay, perfect. So once we have done that, the next step is inside my root directory I'm going to create a new folder, and inside this folder I'm going to be calling it profiles. And the reason I created profile is because AutoMapper relies on profiling entities together in order for it to work. So what does this mean? So inside every single mapping, so if I want to map a DTO to a class, which we're going to be seeing how we're going to be doing this right now, it's going to have some kind of a profile, so AutoMapper will be able to detect it and in order for us to make all of the mappings together. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to, first of all, before we add this profile, let us add a model, and this model here, we're going to have inside of it one single directory, and I'm just going to mimic a DB set. So we're going to be creating a user class here, and for this user we might have, let's say, prop. We're going to have a GUID, so for example full ID. We're going to have another prop for, let's say, string first name, let's put equal string.empty, and then I'm going to have another one for last name. We're going to have one for email, and I think that should be it. Actually, let's add one more. For example, let's add something which is a bit more complex. Let's say street, say address or postcode, and let's add street to it. Something like that. Okay, perfect. So now I have my user, which is going to be stored somehow in this database. We're not going to be going to the database setup, or we're going to be seeing how we can actually transfer these objects types. And what I'm going to also add is another directory inside my models. I'm going to call it DTOs. And within this responses, we want to return the address of the, or for example, that user. So I'm going to put here user response, something like that, get user response. And this is going to be more streamlined, so I'm going to put a string. I'm going to put full name rather than first name last name, and I'm going to have address, and I don't want to return the ID, and I want to return the email. Okay, perfect. So now instead of having to send all of this back, all I want to do is I'm going to return a more streamlined approach which has full name, address, and email. So what I want to do is I want to wait where I actually convert this object dynamically in order for it to be returned as this. So how would this work? Now we need to create a profile for this combination in order for it to work. So all I'm going to do here is inside the profile, I'm going to create a new class, and I'm going to call this class user profile. Okay, perfect. So inside the user profile, the first thing that I need to do is I need to inherit from the profiles profile in the AutoMapper. And this will allow basically this class to be identified when AutoMapper is actually scanning the DLL in order for it to find this class which is going to have contain the mapping that's needed for AutoMapper to work. Perfect. So now in order for me to utilize it, what I need to do is inside my constructor of this class user profile, and I'm going to utilize something called create map. And this create map is going to tell me between which two objects I want to create the map. And the first object is going to be the source of the information, and the second object is going to be where the information is going. So I'm going to say it's going to be from users to get user response. And once I specify this, now inside here, what I need to do is I need to do the manual mapping one-to-one between the objects that I need to do. And we're going to be seeing how easy it is to do that. After I declare this, I need to put dot. I'm going to put for member. And this here going to allow me to specify the mapping for every single individual item. So I'm going to specify the destination. Just put on the new line, destination. I'm going to put destination dot, and here it's going to tell me which item do you want to fill, and I'm going to say I want to put my full name. And then once I do that, I need to put a comma, and then I need to specify my source, and it's going to ask me where is it going to source comma come from. I'm going to say source dot map from x dot first name plus x dot dot last name. We forgot the plus here, and last name. Okay, perfect. Let's make this on a single line so we can actually see it better. So what are we doing here? So basically, after I told AutoMapper what are the two objects that I want to map to, I'm specifying that for every single member that I want to map, in this case, I want to fill the information of full name. I'm telling it that it needs to go to the source, it needs to map from the first name and the last name. So as simple as that. So now let's continue. So this is not finished yet. I'm going to put dot for member, and I'm going to specify the destination, and the destination is going to be the email. And for the email, we're not going to be really doing any manipulation. So, or we can actually do some custom or local manipulation. So we can put source, and I can say src dot map from. Let's put this on a new line so we're actually able to see it. And then here, all I'm going to do is x dot email. And for example, I can say here, something like this. I can put $, and let's take this and put here you can say email, something like that. So you can see I have different types of flexibility when it comes to actually changing the outcome. And the last one that I'm going to add is for the address. I'm going to put again for member. I'm going to specify the destination, and the destination is going to be the address. And then once I have done that, I'm going to specify the source, similar to what we have before. Let's put this on a new line, src dot map from, and here I'm going to specify x and x dot the address. So I'm going to put first, let us use string interpolation so we can make it a bit nicer. I'm going to say user address, and then I'm going to first of all the postcode, and then I'm going to specify the other attribute, so x dot street address. Okay, perfect. So what I done here is very simply, I basically declared my mapping. I declared to which object is going to be mapped. Once I have done that, I've basically for every single mapper, I actually defined this mapping process. Okay, perfect. And you can see here it's pretty straightforward. So what I'm going to do here is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to get a new controller, and I'm going to call it users controller. Let's take the same structure of this, and let's take all of this, and then we can clear it up later. Okay, perfect. So here this is going to be users controllers. I only need this, and that's basically it. So all I'm going to do right now here is I'm going to create a post request, and we're going to, a get request, and we're going to be seeing how we can actually transform this object through a get request. So we can see that data transformation. So we're going to put HTTP get, and we're going to put public async. Actually, we don't need the async, so we can put public void, public iAction result, and we're going to say get user. Again, this is all like a demo endpoint, and we're going to be basically returning an OK here. And now we need to create this OK object that we want to return. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare a new variable. So I'm going to put user underscore user equal new user. Let's fix the references. Okay, perfect. Let's make it var. And here all I'm going to be doing is the email. We're going to put mohamad.com. So let's imagine this is a user coming from the database, and we can put here the first name, which is going to be Mohamad, the last name, which is going to be Lawand, the ID, we're just going to generate a random GUID. So I'm going to put GUID.new GUID. Perfect. Postcode, I'm just going to put a random postcode. Let's say L1212, something like that. And last one is going to street name. I'm going to put Beirut Street. So now basically what I have here is I have my user class. How can I convert this user class that I have? For the sake of example, we can say it came from the database to the get user response. Pretty straightforward and very easy to do. The first thing that needs to be done here is I need to inject AutoMapper into my controller. So I'm going to put private read only iMapper, and I'm going to call it mapper. Perfect. Now I need to inject it through the constructor. So let's do this. Perfect. Now we can see it's injected through the constructor. I have my logger and I have my mapper. Once I have done this, so I'm going to utilize this one here. So I'm going to put var return user, I can call it whatever I want, equal underscore mapper dot map, and here is gonna take what type of object that I wanna map to, and in this case gonna be the get user response, and it's gonna take the underscore user. And all I'm gonna be doing here is for my return user, I'm gonna put this here for the OK so I can actually see it. So now if I run this and open up in my browser, perfect. If I click on users and I'm gonna click on try it out, click on execute, now we can see I was able to get my full users in the same format that I want. So basically I don't have the first name and last name separated. I have the address in the structure that I want and have the email in the structure that I want, and all of that has happened within the AutoMapper. Perfect. So now let's do one more example, and this is, for example, if I'm trying to create a user and the user is being provided for me from the user itself. So instead of here having a response, I'm going to create a new request, a new directory. I'm going to call it requests. And this is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to create another one. I'm going to say post user or create user request. Great. So I'm just going to copy paste some of these items. So I'm just going to take first name, last name, and this for my create user. And basically what I want to do here is I want to inject this or to convert this into a user. So for this user here, I'm just gonna add a couple of more items. So I'm gonna add prop, say string, actually date time, created at, which we're gonna generate automatically now. We're gonna put prop int, and this is gonna be the status of this user, something like that. So what I wanna do right now is I'm gonna take the first name that the user is gonna provide and convert them into this object directly whenever a user wanna register. So all I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna create a new request. So I'm gonna put HTTP post and public action result post. Actually, we're going to say called create user. We're going to be taking from body the create user request. I'm going to call it user. And all I'm going to do here in order for me to save it, I'm going to say var new user equal mapper dot map. I'm going to be converting this to a user. So let's do this right now. So user, and it's going to take the user here. So once I have done this, all I'm going to be doing is just return the new user. Again, it is all for demo purposes. You should not do this in real life scenario. So I'm going to put here a new user. Okay, great. So once I have done all of that, now I need to create the mapping from this create user to my users. So again, going back to the user profile, let's make this a bit longer here, and I'm going to create a new mapping. So I'm going to say create map, which is going to be from create user request to user, and the information that I really want to actually populate is going to be the for member. It's going to be the ID. So I'm going to put destination. Let's put it on a new line. Destination.id. It's going to be the first one, and the source is going to be src.map_from. And all I'm going to be doing here is x.GUID. Actually, I'm going to put GUID.newGUID. So as soon as I do the mapping, I'm going to be creating a new GUID for this. So that's going to be the first one. The second one that I want to add is going to be for member, and the destination is going to be the status. And I'm going to say the source is src equal, put on a new line, src.map_from. And here I'm going to say x, I'm going to say 1, because that's going to be the value that I want to give to it, like 1 is active, 0 is deleted, for example. And lastly, date added for member, and again destination.date added dot created date, actually created at. And here all I'm gonna say is src dot, actually it's gonna be destination src, put it on a new line, src dot map from x. I'm gonna say here date time dot now dot utc, actually dot utc now, and that's it. So here what I'm doing is we're having the create user and we have the user. But you might think to yourself, okay, we did not really map the rest of them. So we have first name, last name, email, postcode. I did not map any of that. And the reason why I did not map any of that is AutoMapper is actually smart enough to realize that these are the same value because they have the same property names, and it will automatically match them for me. So I don't really have to do that work. So now let's run this and let's test it out. So let's go to my web browser. I'm gonna refresh this, and we can see now I have a post. Try it out. I'm gonna put my first name, Mohamad, last name, Rawand, email, mohamad@test.com, postcode, let's say L12345, and street is gonna be Beirut Street. So now let's see what's gonna happen now. Click on execute, and we can see I got back my information with the newly created date, with the ID that I set for it to generate, with the status that I have provided, as well with the mapping for all of the other values that currently exist inside my object. So this basically video give you a jump start on how to utilize AutoMapper inside your application. I hope the video was helpful. If you have any question, as always, please make sure you put them in the comments down below. And if you'd like to support me, please consider supporting me on Patreon or buying me a coffee. With that said, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.